There's a number of issues that have real impact on the residents of Shellharbour electorate. One of these is youth unemployment. We are unfortunately the proud holders of one of the worst records any community could have. We have fewer of our young people in work than almost any electorate in New South Wales. The Greens actually have a plan to try and address this issue. One is we believe that TAFE should be fully funded back to its 2006 levels. Both the Liberal Party and the Labor Party have got this policy called contestable funding for TAFE. Now, contestable funding for TAFE means that TAFE has to compete against private education providers for their dollars. And of course, a private education provider is always going to have an advantage over TAFE in that they don't have to adhere to the same high standards as TAFE does. So we're having a real race to the bottom in the provision of education funding, and if TAFE doesn't cut its quality, it simply will not get the dollars. We need to protect TAFE and stop this privatisation by stealth that's so beloved of both of the old parties. The Greens have another prong to our plan to address youth unemployment as well. That is, the state government in New South Wales has considerable buying power when it's letting contracts. The Greens believe that every time the state government considers to whom a contract for provision of services or goods is let, one of the factors that determines whether or not they're successful should be whether or not they employ young people in apprenticeship or trainee roles. We need to use the state government's buying power to help those businesses that are helping our young people. Society will be better off in the end if we have a young, involved, active, educated workforce. Another issue that rings strongly in Shellharbour is corruption. We've seen a cricket team of people thrown out of the Liberal Party for corrupt practices in the term of this Parliament. People from Premier O'Farrell right down to backbenchers who've accepted dodgy donations in brown envelopes. The Labor Party's record is no better. We've seen people like Eddie Obeid and Ian McDonald rising to the very heights of the Labor Party in New South Wales and selling our assets and their souls in order to profit. One way that we can help address these issues of corruption is to introduce real electoral funding reform. The Greens have plans that will see an end to the corporate donations which leads to members of Parliament legislating for the private profit, not the common good. We need this reform now. We cannot afford to wait for it, because every day we wait is another day that the spivs and the shysters get their hands on the natural and built assets of New South Wales and do our economy down in the meantime. We really must have this reform. We cannot afford to wait another 4 years. It's time for action now, and the only way we can bring about this real election campaign donation reform is to vote Greens in both the lower house and the upper house in the New South Wales election.